Welcome to this episode of Talk with Carrie. We're at number 7. I really love coming to you guys live and just sharing with you the journey, right? Sharing with you what I've learned and what I'm going through and hopefully making a difference for you. That's ultimately what this show is all about. And the reason that I show up on live video is to be able to make a difference for you, to either be able to compress that timeline or to be able to give you confidence or strength or a nice kick in the butt sometimes to move in the direction that you're meant to go. You know, my big thing is helping people truly step in to the vision that God has for them, and specifically working with entrepreneurs to really go big. You know, I think a lot of entrepreneurs are playing small, and, you know, I find myself playing small as well. And I need accountability and coaching and mastermind partners and community to really kick my butt into going to that next level. And so, you know, I hope that that's what I can do for you here. And if we haven't gotten a chance to meet, or this is maybe your first time catching me live, then please do say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. I love to know where my community is tuning in from because we are an international community. I am here in Austin, Texas. Absolutely love Texas. We are steaming up. I think we're over 100 degrees today, which is hot. And like I said, I'm a business and sales strategist for online entrepreneurs. I'm really, really passionate about entrepreneurs creating a business where they can do more, be more, and give more beyond their business, beyond clientele, but making money for a purpose, you know, being able to, you know, make a lot of income so we can make a big difference, so we can give back, so we can get involved in charities, so we can raise our children, so we can, you know, be involved in our communities and, you know, really create a business that fuels our life. That's really what I take a stand for. And I love this conversation that I want to have today because I want to talk a little bit about failures. And I say failures because realistically in my life, I look back and I can, you know, I can pinpoint many different failures, but several really large failures, or what somebody might consider a large failure. And I want to share one specifically with you today. And I want you just to start to think about, like, where have you failed? But instead of using that failure as something that was going to push you backwards, but really using that failure to push you forward, right? Because if you're not trying, you're not failing, right? If we're staying inside our little comfort zone and we're doing everything that's really safe and we're never getting outside that, then it is impossible to fail, right? If we know something works, we're not going to fail. Like, I know how to walk down the street. I'm probably not going to fail at that. You know, is there a possibility? Sure. I mean, none of us are perfect. You know, I could fall, I could trip, you know, weird circumstances could happen, but more than likely I know how to do that, right? Same thing in our business. And this was what happened to me is I got really comfortable coaching one-on-one, right? I had a full practice. I had that kind of down. When I had an opening, you know, I was able to fill it. I was building my list. Like, things were rolling pretty well. And I knew it was time to up level. Not only did I know it internally, like I could feel it was time to do something big, but I also was getting, you know, advised from my coach that it was time to, you know, step into something bigger. It was time to scale, and it was time to launch a group program. Now, tell me if you have ever been there. Have you ever been in a place where, you know, you're comfortable with how you're running your business, or maybe you're comfortable in your job, but you've got that inkling, you've got that nudging that says something's more, something's bigger, something's waiting for you. Give me a 1 in the comments if you've ever thought that, or if you've ever felt that, like you knew that next level was ready for you. Okay, so I was ready, and my coach advised me to open up a group program, right? You fill your privates, that's the next step, right? You got to scale, you got to find a way to work with more people, but to be able to do it not one-on-one, because I had about 10, I think I was at 10, maybe 8 to 10 clients. I know 8 was like the most I really wanted, but then I was sprinkling in some intensives and things like that. And that was enough. And so came up with an awesome name, and I hired a designer, and I hired a copywriter, and I had a beautiful sales page. And before the launch, I did a big summit. I interviewed 23 experts, and I had a big list build, which is what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to build your list, and then, you build all this anticipation, and then you launch this program. And, I had a sales page, and I was having conversations, and I even enrolled a few people into this group program. But in that launch process and during this, enrollment period, it felt terrible. It felt stressful. It felt yucky. I was really not that excited about running the program. I didn't want to keep sending emails. I didn't want to keep pushing. And it didn't feel right. And I really kind of had a come to Jesus moment, right? I was like, okay, I can keep pushing forward because that's what I'm supposed to do, right? When it gets hard, you don't stop. You just keep going. You push through. You have this goal. You got to meet it. You got to do it, blah, blah, blah. I was looking to have a 6-figure launch. And I did probably what a lot of coaches would say, no, don't do that. And I know my coach was not happy about it and did not support me. And I canceled the launch. I said, I'm not launching this program. A couple of the people I gave their money back to, and I think 1 or 2 of the people I turned into a private client. And I said, I'm not doing it. I canceled it. I stopped promoting it. And I just sat still for about 2 months and just waited. And I was like, I know something's coming. I know there's a next level. I know I'm ready to go big. That didn't change, right? So my vision didn't change. What I wanted didn't change. But the vehicle to get there was what needed to change. I needed to figure out a way to be able to scale my business without losing my integrity, without doing something that didn't connect with my personality, my vibe, the way I wanted to run my business. I just couldn't imagine being one of those coaches that had their, semi-annual launch and they were going to launch this big program. And you know what? I might change, in 6 months, a year from now, 5 years from now, maybe I will determine that that's the right way. But at this very moment and back then, it wasn't the right way for me. And so I was looking for different business models. I was looking at what other people were doing. I was kind of investigating coaches. I was doing my due diligence, right? And just being open. I was in no rush. I had private clients. That was working. And then I came across the coach. And you know how you just know? You know how when you see the coach and then you have the conversation, and I literally was on the phone with the coach, running down the stairs to go get my Amex. And I always visualize for my clients, especially, that's what I want for you. I want clients running to go get their credit card to sign up with you. I want that for you. And I want that for me too, but that's truly, I think, what happens when you are able to hold a sales conversation that you feel really confident in and you really believe in what you do. Because this was not a salesy conversation. This was not like, if you don't buy right now, the price is going to go up by 5,000, or, we have a limited amount of spots and you got to act now, or there's 50 million bonuses happening. And if you don't buy today, then you're going to lose them all. There was no high pressure, but I just knew. I was on the phone with this coach, and I just knew, because what he offered and what he taught me was priceless. Right? I learned about having an open enrollment kind of program, meaning there's no big launch date. There's no big close date. I learned about sales funnels, and I learned about automation, and I learned how to take what I had been doing for the past 2 years, which were webinars, which I truly believe is one of the best ways to grow your business. And I learned how to do it on an automated system. I learned how to be able to do my webinar one time and have it running in the background so that I was filling these sales conversations. And I was able to fill what was going to be a big, large group program. I turned it into an 8-week program. I filled it. I think I had 2 or 3, $3,000 sales within the first week of implementing this system. Ended up, training up amazing entrepreneurs in this program and had a huge success. And then it was time to reevaluate and to readjust, so I think that's one of the things, even when we think something is a failure, we get to continue to readjust. And so this program was a success, and I was able to continue to increase it. I was able to make it better. I was able to pull back, when I was, I had run it for a couple months. I'd run some, clients through it. They had really great results. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to put it on pause and I'm going to do some other things. And I was, playing with sales funnels, and I was starting to play with low end products because basically my entire experience online had all been about high end. And so now this was my opportunity to play with some lower end products and, sell a 6-week course, and then, sell an upsell and sell a downsell. And, within the last couple of months, I've opened up a membership site, which I'm completely loving. It's such an amazing way to, really support my clients. And now I'm kind of in that reevaluation, and I'm getting ready to, turn that failure into the next success story. And so I want you to think about, what are the things that you've either failed at in the past that you can really learn from and use that to fuel you in your next step? Or what is that next step that you need to take that you might be thinking, what if I fail? What if it doesn't work? What if nobody signs up? What if nobody watches? What if nobody signs up for my webinar? What is that next thing that you've got to take that next step in order to take that failure and move it into the next step and move it into the success that you're really looking for? Because if you are unwilling to fail, if you're unwilling to try, if you're unwilling to get out of your comfort zone, you're never going to move closer to the vision or the purpose or the mission that you're here for. And specifically with business, you're not going to create the business that you desire. You're not going to get to the income level, because I'm telling you about one failure, one. And I could sit here for hours and tell you about all the things that I've done that have failed. I could tell you about all the different blog posts that I wrote that nobody watched or nobody listened to, that nobody commented on, posts that I created, groups that I created, nobody joined, programs that I launched that nobody came to, So I think there's that thing that we don't talk about, right? We don't talk about the failures. We don't talk about the things that haven't worked because it really doesn't feel that great. But for me, I'm like, I am so glad that I tried that and failed, because had I not realized that I didn't want to do the big open cart close, kind of launch, I never would have gotten to the place where I learned about, open enrollment and really took the time to learn about sales funnels and automation and, how to set up the right systems and structures in my business. And now I'm able to help my clients with that. And my business is mostly run by webinars. I'm able to create a new webinar for the new program or the new launch that I'm doing, or the new product that I want to sell. And now that's what I love helping my clients with. And so if you haven't already seen, I'm actually teaming up with one of my clients, Carrie Severson, who I helped her create a webinar for her business. And that's where she kind of got her start to selling her programs and products. And she really started with low-end products, which I absolutely love, because she kind of did the flip-flop of me. I remember when we first started working together, she absolutely did not want to do one-on-one. She was like, I don't want to do one-on-one. I just want to sell my programs and my products. And she kind of, went into really loving the one-on work and really having a diverse business because of webinars. And so we're teaming up. We're going to get together on Wednesday and do a training about webinars. So I'd love for you to join us, and you can grab your spot on the webinar, and I'll put it in the comments when we hop off here. But you can go to carrieshepherd.com/webinar growth. And just come on and learn a little bit about webinars. Maybe you're already using webinars and you want to learn how to automate them, how to kind of go to that next level. Or maybe you're at a place where you haven't started using webinars. Maybe you are interested in it, or you see other people doing it and you're just not sure what that looks like. So I'm going to walk you step by step what it looks like. I'm going to show you how to do it where you don't have tech overwhelm. I'm going to show you how to do it on a minimal budget, so you're not having to break the bank to get some sort of super over fancy webinar platform together. And we're also going to have time at the end to answer questions. Carrie is a fantastic storyteller coach and trainer. So you can definitely pick her brain about storytelling and how to do that successfully on a webinar. And then, of course, I'm going to be there for, the technical side, the strategy, the implementation, all those different pieces that you would need to create a webinar. And here's the deal. You don't know unless you try. You don't know unless you come check it out. And, really what I want to leave you with today is to celebrate your failures and know that it's pushing you forward and it's pushing you to the place that you're meant to be. And if you're feeling stuck, or if you're feeling resistance, and you're within your comfort zone and you're playing it small and you're playing it safe, I want to give you that permission, or maybe that gentle, friendly push, and say, jump out of it. Now is the time. Now is the time to get out there, try those scary things, try the things that you think you might fail at, because guess what? You might surprise yourself and you may be a huge success. The things that I didn't think would work have worked brilliantly. The things that I didn't think would work, or that I thought would work, didn't work. So you never know, and you'll always be surprised. So Let me know if you enjoyed this video. Make sure you grab your seat on the webinar on Wednesday. And as always, if this video made a difference, I would love if you hit that share button. All right, guys, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.